All right, we're making some progress here. We're on to the resume section. You should already have the resume. If not, click it in the ebook where it says click here for the resume, or you can go onto that Weebly website and you can actually download the template resume. So let's get started and start critiquing this resume and kind of understand what we want to do with it. Okay, looking at the top of this resume, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have your name, your address, cell phone, email address, the usual stuff. Then you see yourwebsite.com. Later, when we get through the ebook, we're going to implement your own website here. Maybe it's something clever that you want to put out there or something. Maybe it's just your name, your full name.com is a good one to use too. Underneath that in the red writing, we see exact position of the title being applied for. You want to make sure that the resume that you're putting out there is matching up with the position you're applying for. It lets that recruiter or hiring manager know that you're just not mass submitting these resumes. Obviously, the one that's on your website, if you choose to post one there, is going to be a little more generic. Underneath that, we have the descriptive tagline explaining credentials for this position. Just kind of, just your little tagline of why you think that you're a great candidate, and make sure it fits within that line. You don't want something that's going on too far. Underneath that, you see I have some experience that I listed for my resume in here, just for example. This is kind of just like a brief synopsis of what your experience is and how it relates to the position you're applying for. Then we have the 3 check marks. Each of these check marks should be something very descriptive with quantitative figures. So you want, if you can at all, you want percentages, maybe sales goals you've hit, or different ways that you've made an impact at previous jobs. And you want it to be very descriptive so that it's not just saying, I'm a great worker, because that's just your opinion. There's nothing behind that for them to warrant you to have an interview. The really big part about this resume here is the next step here. It's called proven areas of expertise included. You can see the first thing says refer to notes on the second page. It's actually on the third page. I wrote some notes into your template that you can kind of go over. But right here, this is where on a job posting you'll see things like qualified candidates might have the following skills or credentials. In that section, they're going to ask for different skills, and what they're doing is a lot of times if they have resume scanners, they'll put some of those skills as a keyword that they want to see on your resume. So if it says it wants somebody who's good with content development, you put content development in there. Obviously, you want to use things that you actually have proven expertise in, but this is a great place to put keyword stuffing. So the keywords that you see popping up on that job posting, you want to make sure they end up in this area. This is just a great way to get those keywords in there to make sure that you have that extra keyword density so that your resume makes it past the resume scanners. All right, let's take a look at the next part of the resume now. Really quickly, I just want to touch on education and also kind of the content under the experience here. On education, I just want to make note that I did not include the year I graduated from college. It is illegal for employers to hire based on age, so you don't have to include that. If you're a recent college grad especially, unless you're going for an entry-level position, you probably don't want to say that you graduated last year or 3 months ago. Also, on the other end of the spectrum, if you're somebody who's more distinguished and has a lot of experience, you might not want to focus on the fact that you went to college in the 70s, but more so focus on your experience, which will put you in a better light. And then as far as the experience, again, I wrote field marketing manager experience on this particular one because that was the title the job I was applying for. Again, just keyword density, making sure that they see that I have that density in there. And one thing I want to touch upon, which a lot of people already know, is you want to use descriptive action words when you're describing your experience. You'll see I use words like pushing, managing, execution, conducting, and very importantly, these are all in the same tense. These are all in present tense. You don't want part of your resume to be in present tense and then another part of it being in past tense. That'll throw off the resume, and that's a big no-no too. So these are all things you want to consider while putting your resume out there. And again, make sure you have that keyword density. If there's an opportunity to say the keyword that you're applying for, such as field marketing manager, then I want you to put it in your resume as long as it's appropriate. Obviously, use your discretion for whatever position you're applying for, and make sure that it aligns with your work history. You don't want to lie, but you want to make sure that you have that keyword density in here.